Hi everyone, Damian Adams with Zovison Financial, back for part 2 of our Creating a Budget in 7-Step series. Today I'll be covering the final 4 steps in helping you create a budget. So let's get into it. To review, in our last video we covered the first 3 steps in creating your budget. Step 1 was determining your financial goals and what is required to reach them. Step 2 was estimate your income. And step 3 was estimate your expenses. Now with step 4, we want to separate the needs from the wants. So take a look at all your expenses in step 3 and determine how much do you actually need each month to maintain your lifestyle versus what are some of the wants and some of the impulse buys that's preventing you from reaching your goal each and every month? Which leads us to step 5. Step 5, sacrifice, sacrifice, sacrifice. This is where you want to determine if your expenses are greater or less than your income. If your expenses are too high, try to find additional income sources. Or, which is easier for most people, try to find a way to sacrifice and cut your expenses where necessary. I've come across so many household budgets that shows hundreds of dollars spent on popular morning coffee brands and fast food restaurant expenses each and every day. This is an easy place to start cutting some of your expenses. And lastly, if your expenses are lower than your income, great. Take that additional income and apply it to different categories of your expenses to help you reach your financial goals. Step 6, calculate percentages. Calculate each category of income and expenses as a percentage of the total for the year. Now it sounds complicated, so let me show you an example. As you can see, Stacy's annual take-home pay is $55,000. Her total annual income, including her alimony payments, are $62,200. If we divide the category of salary, which is $55,000, by the total annual income of $62,200, that gives her a percentage of 88.4% of income. This budget tells us Stacy's take-home pay makes up 88% of her total annual income for the year. Now we would do the same for her annual fixed expenses. Again, if we use the category of housing under annual fixed expenses, we would divide $15,000 by her total annual fixed expenses of $23,700. That gives her a percentage of 63.3% of the expenses. This tells us her housing makes up 63% of her total annual fixed expenses for the year. Now remember, expenses break down into 3 categories: fixed, variable, and miscellaneous. So calculate the percentages for all 3. This is the point in your budget when the financial awakening typically happens. Here you're able to see exactly where your money is going and what financial habits you might need to adjust along with your budget. And finally, step 7, review the budget. I recommend that you review and make adjustments to your budget at the end of each month. If your budget shows your percentages are way too high for a particular category of expenses, adjust your spending habits and tighten up that area for next month. And lastly, I want you to get what I call a budget bestie, someone that you can trust and that will hold you accountable to your budget. This could be a spouse, boyfriend, girlfriend, a best friend, or a family member. Tell this person exactly what you're doing and what your goals are for your budget. This way, they'll help you stay on track and help you reach your financial goals in the future. This concludes our series of Creating a Budget in 7 Steps. If you're interested in more financial education videos, please subscribe by clicking on the Z below. Thank you for watching, and remember, at Zovison Financial, we start financial planning where you are.